The news broke like an earthquake. Headlines flashed across every screen in America. Chelsea Clinton linked to $84 million USAID scandal. Washington was in chaos. Reporters swarmed the Capitol steps, microphones in hand, desperate for a soundbite. Politicians scrambled to control the narrative, and the public, angry, confused, betrayed, wanted answers. At the center of it all was Chelsea Clinton. The daughter of one of the most powerful political families in America, she had lived much of her life under a microscope. But this was different. This wasn't about legacy or family name, this was about an alleged misuse of public funds tied to international aid projects. The figure was staggering, $84 million. The scandal rattled Washington, but what no one expected was how Senator JD Vance would respond when pressed for comment. Known for his blunt style and refusal to toe the party line, many anticipated a fiery, partisan attack. Instead, what he said stunned the nation. But first, the storm had to break. As details trickled out, congressional hearings were scheduled. The hearing room was tense, cameras trained on the dais as Chelsea Clinton prepared to testify. Her voice trembled slightly as she began defending her work, insisting the allegations were twisted by political motives. She spoke of projects that were meant to help women, children, and vulnerable communities overseas. Yet the questions kept coming. Where did the money go? Who benefited? Why were there gaps in reporting? The room grew hostile. Lawmakers from both sides took turns pressing her, some with genuine concern, others with theatrical outrage. Chelsea, usually calm and collected, found herself faltering under the weight of it all. For once, the Clinton composure seemed to crack. Then came JD Vance's turn. Everyone leaned forward. If there was ever a moment for political bloodsport, this was it. The Ohio senator adjusted his microphone, his voice carrying a quiet steadiness that immediately hushed the room. "Mrs. Clinton," he began, his tone measured, "this scandal, this mess we're all watching unfold, it's about more than you. It's about trust. The American people don't just want numbers, they don't just want explanations. They want to know why, time after time, those with power and privilege seem to play by a different set of rules." The chamber grew still. His words were not a direct attack, they were something deeper. Vance continued, his voice gaining strength. "I could stand here and tear into you for headlines. I could deliver soundbites that go viral. But the truth is, this scandal is not just about Chelsea Clinton. It's about a system where the elite, whether left or right, think public money is their playground. $84 million isn't just a figure, it's meals not served, it's medicine not delivered, it's lives that could have been saved but weren't." Gasps rippled through the room. Chelsea shifted uncomfortably, but even she seemed caught by the gravity of his words. Then came the line that echoed across Washington. Vance leaned in, his voice sharp but steady. "What stuns me is that this scandal happened. It's that America isn't shocked anymore. We've been conditioned to expect corruption, to shrug at betrayal. That's the real scandal, Mrs. Clinton, and that's on all of us in power." The silence that followed was deafening. Reporters stopped typing, senators stared at one another, and for the first time, Chelsea Clinton's eyes glistened, not with defiance but with something like shame. The clip went viral within hours. Commentators across the spectrum replayed it again and again. Some praised Vance for cutting through partisanship to call out systemic rot. Others criticized him for not going harder at Chelsea. But for millions of ordinary Americans, his words struck a chord. It wasn't just about one scandal, it was about years of watching leaders squander trust. In the days that followed, Washington spun with analysis. Chelsea Clinton released statements vowing transparency, pledging reforms, and even agreeing to an independent audit of the projects in question. Whether it would clear her name or not remained uncertain, but the pressure was undeniable. Meanwhile, JD Vance's moment became more than a soundbite. Across small towns, factory floors, and kitchen tables, people quoted his words, "The real scandal is that we're not shocked anymore." It became a rallying cry not about party but about accountability. And in that moment, Washington was reminded of something it had nearly forgotten: the power of truth spoken plainly, without theatrics, without spin. The power of a voice that refuses to accept corruption as normal. By the end, the story wasn't just about Chelsea Clinton's alleged role in an $84 million scandal. It was about JD Vance's shocking response. A response that didn't just stun Washington but reignited the people's demand for leaders who remember whom they serve. Because scandals may fade, names may change, but the message lingered. Corruption only thrives when outrage dies. And in that hearing room, with millions watching, outrage came alive again.